How Wind Waker popularized cel shading in games. Cel shading is the animation technique of making a 3D character model look 2D. It is often used to recreate the style of comics, cartoons, or anime in a CGI medium. The first game to use cel shading is Jet Set Radio, but it's not the game that made it popular. The most famous example of cel shading in video games goes to Nintendo's Wind Waker, the 10th installment in the Zelda series. Though many games have since used this technique, Wind Waker is often thought of as the best example of the art form. Its style was so timeless that in 2013, when the HD version was released, none of the textures were changed. All the game needed was updated lighting for its art to shine better than it ever did before. The art style was so iconic that it became the style for every 3D Zelda game that followed. The most recent title, Breath of the Wild, even used it in 2017. Cel shading was also used in other games such as Borderlands, Okami, Persona, and many anime game adaptations. So, what makes this art style iconic? Well, I believe it has a lot to do with it looking closer to 2D animation. 3D animation is great, but there's a lot of elements that look arguably better in 2D. As mentioned before, it's timeless and ages far slower than many CGI works. It also lends itself to being more expressive. Big eyes and goofy expressions are easier to see coming from a drawing than a model. It helps create that suspension of disbelief. Some expressions from Wind Waker are taken directly from anime, and it definitely shows in the final product. It's insane to think that despite its cultural impact today, Wind Waker did not do well on release financially. Many people criticised it for being too cartoony after they were initially presented with a more realistic demo at Space World. The creators had a vision for their art and wanted Wind Waker to see the light of day even if it wasn't received well. Knowing how popular the game is today, it's clear that their work has paid off.